Hi everyone, I'm Jess or Jessica, whatever you prefer. I'm a consultant at Bespoke Careers and we're going to kick it off. If everyone could post in the chat your name and what firm you're from and the position that you are at the firm, that would help us, during the Q&A component. But a bit of an intro about Bespoke Careers. We have been around for 15 years. We're a women-owned business by a lady named Lindsay Urquhart. She's an ex-architect, and everybody who works here is at Bespoke, I should say, is ex-industry. I myself am an ex-interior designer. Azal, who you'll meet soon, is an ex-architect, as well as Julia. She's ex-interiors events. So we kind of have this bird's eye view of the industry as to, what entails a good designer or architect versus, someone who's not so good. And yeah, that's pretty much a little bit about us. But Julia, if you want to go to the next slide, I'll be talking about a few topics. So our market update, what candidates are looking for, and strategies for retaining employees. I guess the first few topics that we come across are the talent crisis. Talent is outweighing supply at the moment. And, we'll also be going into things about what job seekers are looking for and how firms can be successful in securing them, as well as, things like the perfect fit, financial packages, flexibility, health and well-being, and career development. The guys will go into more detail about those during the talk. And yeah, of course, retention is rather critical for most firms. So we'll be discussing, key challenges and things that we faced throughout 2022, just about retaining employees and things like that. So over to, I think it's Azal next.
Hi, everyone. This is Azal. As Jessica mentioned, we at Bespoke Careers, we deal with a lot of candidates on a daily basis. So we try to get what we see in the market and put together this presentation and discuss the challenges that everybody's facing in kind of like finding the right candidates and hiring them and keeping them. The first thing we're going to discuss is what candidates are looking for. And in order for us to understand what they're looking for is we have to understand why they're leaving their jobs in the first place. And we're going to go over some facts and questions in 2020. As we all know, we went through a period of great resignation where almost 40% of the market resigned and quit their jobs. Slowly we are entering the great rehire phase where firms are basically fighting for the same top candidates, and it's a candidates market, and they decide how they want to go about it, and we're trying to understand what they're looking for. At any moment, 65% of the employees are actively looking for other opportunities, and 94% of those candidates, they wouldn't resign if they had growth opportunities in their job. So if there was a learning and growth opportunity in the firm that they were working, they wouldn't leave their jobs. And another thing that we're seeing more and more post-COVID is the issue of hybrid workplace, because obviously because of the pandemic, most firms were remote, and slowly they came back to hybrid model. And a lot of these candidates, they realized they can be as productive, if not more, following a 2-3 model and having a hybrid work environment, and kind of like balance the work-life balance at the same time. So they don't want to go back fully in the office, and we're hearing that a lot. So on to the next slide. Basically from these questions, we now can understand what they're actually looking for. As we discussed, continuing education and advancement in their current work environment is a key. A lot of these candidates, they want to see growth opportunities, and when they move is mainly because they feel stuck and doing the same thing over and over again, or they're not getting promoted, or there are not enough opportunities for growth in their current jobs. The hybrid remote model is one of the other reasons. More often than not, we see candidates basically go for lower compensation packages in favor of a hybrid model, especially in a city like LA with distances and high gas prices. This is a really key issue right now. Also, culture, diversity, equality, and inclusion is another topic that comes up often, and transparency in the compensation package, in a way that we are seeing multiple offers for most of these candidates these days. And when they give us a range, more often than not, they want to kind of see higher offers on a higher end of the range, because they usually start where they are at and they're not willing to move for a couple of thousand, let's say. So it's good to kind of be competitive, because you have to have in mind that all of these candidates are having multiple offers at this point. And Julia is going to go into more detail on how to do that.
So Asal has hit on some key things for what candidates are looking for, and now we're going to turn it over to the client side of how you're retaining these employees. Similarly, we've hit on pretty much very similar topics, but from the client side, mentorship, career development, and growth is pretty huge to be transparent with some of these employees that you're either trying to retain or to attract. Employees obviously want to know where they're headed, their career is headed. And so some of the times that we've seen this happening is that they put it in their contracts. So it would be, within 6 months to a year, we'll do like a review, and then we'll see like where you are. And obviously, depending on good work, we can either give you a promotion or some sort of pay raise. Title is very important to these candidates. So if it's not here, it's somewhere else. And in order to retain them, I think these reviews help you kind of figure out that they're valuable and able to keep them. As Asal mentioned, 65% of people are looking for opportunities right now, which includes a higher title, a higher salary, and just like something a little bit different than what they are offering, at their current employment. The next one that we're going to go into is project diversity and challenges. So with this being said, a lot of employees like to be challenged. They like different kinds of either projects or utilizing their skill sets. So it's very important for like a firm, either a mentor or whoever, to kind of focus on that. Because if they're not getting the diversity from the firm that actually has diversity to allow, they will also be looking for somewhere else. So it's good to kind of see where your employees' strong suits are, and if they want to work on a different project or utilize different job skills that they have, to kind of like promote that and, work with them on that sense. Compensation. This is a big one. This is the one that everybody talks about. And from a firm standpoint, employee loyalty should be compensated, either promotions, new titles, all of that. Again, like the 6 months to a year, we'll like revisit your salary. And if you have, hit all of these growth marks, then we can give me more compensation. It's obviously a lot more expensive to hire new talent than it is to maintain and just pay more from what they deserve. And also you don't want to be losing your top talented employees either. And the next one that we're going to go into is company culture. So with this, we all know it goes from the top to the bottom. If you're sending emails at 2, 3 a.m., obviously your people are going to want to mirror that, because that in a society with strong workforce is that you're doing a good job. I think the main thing is to practice what you preach. So for instance, if you are posting a job description of some sort, coming to us for help, wanting to retain like new talent, if your company isn't very like work-life focused, or, really truly not a 9 to 5, that's something that you should be very transparent about. Because I think a lot of people, are looking for a post-pandemic work-life balance, which is very crucial to them. And if you come in saying in interviews and stuff like that, oh yeah, we have 100% work-life balance, we have great company culture, and when they get in there, it's completely false. I think that a lot of the times will have a lot of employees leaving because, it's, I guess, quote unquote, like falsely advertised. Everybody knows that it is, there will be hard weeks, months, or whatever, but on a company structure, culture whole, if you are very focused on work-life balance or not, it should be a transparent thing from the beginning. And then this last one, extra perks and hybrid model. Hybrid work model is at this point one of the norms that a lot of these candidates are looking for. So if a firm is able to do some sort of hybrid work model, whether it's remote for 2 days out of the week or 3 days, or 4 days work week and then Friday off, or every Friday, that is 100% what candidates are looking for. And I think a lot of these firms are trying to move towards that a little bit. And I've seen some firms in San Francisco start doing that. So I think it's starting to merge into what a norm is looking like and what candidates are also looking like.